People are popping in.
Hello, everybody. Everyone started coming in.
Good to see you all.
Hey,
Say hi.
Kevin. See you today and tomorrow.
All pretty quiet.
It's all right. Everyone's kept on mute, I think.
Or they're having their lunch, 1 to 2.
Yeah.
Hi, team.
Yeah, feel free to have your lunch. But, yeah, if you want, while we're waiting, because we've got a couple of minutes before we get started, maybe just say hello in the chat.
It's always awkward having lunch on a lunch dinner, and you have your screen on. Do you shove your food in your mouth? Go, Ree. She's having lunch, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great way. 1 more minute.
Yeah. It's only 12:14, so. Yeah. Oh, no, marketing. I can say that and then introduce. Yep.
We're typing in the chat saying hi.
Yep. Who's saying hello?
Lee says hi, everyone. Ree Anna says hi, everyone. Hope your day's kicking along nicely. And Kevin is typing. We're watching you guys. Note takers.
Yep.
Yes, we should say thanks for coming in person. Sitting in your note takers.
And Jan, hi Jan. Lovely to see you on camera.
Here comes Clem.
Good. Oh, someone's got, I bet you it's Clem.
There's Michael. Hello. Just was emailing you earlier.
Mr.
Hi,
Irma.
Michael.
G'day, guys.
Hey.
Who's here?
Yes. All right. Well, we might get started. Welcome, everybody, to Series 9 of our Lunch and Learns. And we've really picked up an amazing momentum at the moment, which is good. Got over 230 people registering, and we've had about 63 saying they're coming on today. And as we know, things do happen, and some of you are like, there's a couple of people on per computer and stuff. So welcome to everybody on behalf of the Franchise Council of Australia. And today I've got Lisa, Events and Marketing, Georgia, all marketing and comms, and Baxter, all things membership, in the room with me. And today Dennis is in sunny Queensland. He didn't want to come to Melbourne where the wind is just blowing through, our every sort of corner of the city at the moment. But that's all right.
It's all right. We've been sweltering up here in 35-degree heat. So
Yeah, rub it in.
While we're on the beach, we're right, Dennis.
Yeah.
Exactly. So today we're really looking at marketplace insights. That's really what Seek Business is here to help us with, in conjunction with Judo Bank as well. And so just a little bit about Dennis. Most of you actually know Dennis. He has been around franchising for a while, just around, full stop. I believe he's been with Seek Business 10 years. So I think that links with his long service leave. He's a sales and operations manager at Seek Business, and he likes steering the ship, crunching numbers, which we're going to see a fair bit of data today. It was all about curves and peaks and troughs. And he's best known for hitting the dance floor in fancy dress at team events. And I've seen him at most of the FCA events, that's for sure. and his dream business is a small boutique wine bar in Brisbane. So, Kevin, do you know any? Well, I'm sure we'll find one. We'll find one franchise. All right, so over to Dennis.
Cool. Thanks, Helen. Thanks, the FCA, for allowing me today to talk. So my name's Dennis Midgley. I'm going through the insights today, the collaboration between us and Judo Bank. So if there's any questions afterwards or during the chat, please just drop in the chat or hit me up afterwards as well. Happy to share this with you. And then I'll also, at the end, there'll be a link to sign up to receive these insights quarterly as well. So we're about to launch the next quarterly insights report in a week or two. So these are going to be sent out on a quarterly basis, so you can have them straight into your inbox, and we can go from there as well too. But yeah, we're really pleased to talk about today is the business sale market based on interactions that occur each day on our website. So this report is focused on the 2023-2024 and breaks down inquiry trends across states, industries, and advertised prices. We've seen record volumes in 2024 to date, which are higher than the year before. Even though that we see that the cooling job market combined with increased importance of flexibility and work-life balance means that business ownership as a career option is becoming more and more appealing. That's why we believe it's a great time for buyers and sellers in Australia right now. And we're incredibly privileged to have Warren Hogan, the Chief Economic Advisor at Judo Bank, to provide some commentary on how these trends play out. So, we're very lucky to have him because he was basically ranked as the best economic forecaster in 2023 as well. Let's get into it. So over the last, after the last decade, we've seen over 1.7 million inquiries come through our website. And even on the back of that, July this year was our record with inquiries as well. So we're continually seeing more and more people looking at business ownership as an opportunity, despite all the high level economic slowdown that we're seeing over the past year. But what we find is that this reflects a range of factors, including demographics, strong business balance sheets, and confidence in the outlook for the economy. So somewhat surprisingly, interest is in consumer-facing businesses in the food and beverage sector is also strong, despite the squeeze on household finance and slowdown in consumer spend over the past year. But with healthy household and business balance sheets and a readily available credit, this is also helping the demand as well. We'll talk a bit about regional and metro dynamics and some of the high industry trends and also the high value businesses that are on the rise as well. So as I said, so we can see that since the pandemic, our inquiries have grown. So we're now 70% up year on year. So it blows our mind as well that people are still looking at business ownership as well. But it just shows that there's such a massive aspiration of people looking to buy a business. And we know that the history of our Seek Business dataset shows that the rising inquiries are associated with rising business investment, new business growth, and healthy business confidence. So why? So, there's a change in perceptions about work-life balance and careers due to the pandemic. Think back to people now wanting to, work from home, or they want to work closer to where they live. They want to work so they can, pick their kids up, drop their kids off at school. So we're seeing a change in what happens there. The cooling job market. So, from a Seek employment perspective, job ad volumes down 15% year on year in July. However, applicants are up 60% year on year. So it really shows that there's a lot more people applying for jobs. Unfortunately, there's not as many jobs there. So they are looking then at business ownership as an opportunity to help them as well.
Yeah, Dennis, we've got a question.
Yes.
From Ree. Or Rihanna. Sorry, Rihanna.
Is there any data that shows in cross business? I can share some data. There's a few more trends in it a little bit later on, Rihanna, which goes through which industries from a perspective, but happy to catch up with you later. We can go through some different other areas as well too. So,
yep, good question, and keep the questions coming.
So despite the economic slowdown we've had the last 18 months, the inquiry levels still grow, and this is further evidence that the belt tightening in the business sector continue to expand in 2023. But this bodes well for the outlook as a healthy business community will underpin employment and also consumer demand, which more people looking, shopping, more people that are spending, more opportunity for business ownership as well. So here we're looking a bit about our SEEK business inquiries, but also looking at, this is through the Judo Bank, so looking at non-mining plant equipment and machinery investment. So this is the business investment part. So as business investment grows, as you can see in the grey line on the left, our SEEK business inquiries are growing as well too. And we've extrapolated this out to March 2025 to get a sense of where we see things are projecting as well. And on the right-hand side, it's looking at the investment, rates as well too. So you can see that everything is heading in the right direction and correlates with more investment in business means more inquiries and people looking to buy businesses as well. Sorry, it's another question. Yeah, for Michael. Yep.
Michael.
Cool. Yeah. So I'll come back to you on that, Michael, because that's from what Judo Bank has said to us as well. So I'll come back to you with some insights into that. If you maybe just message me your email address and I'll come back to some data there, Michael. So.
Yep.
And then looking at so between 2015 and 2020, the total business count in Australia grew by about 60k a year. Over the year to March 2024, business is now about 85k, and with the current trajectory, we find that with the SEEK Business Inquiry Index suggests that Australia could see a lift of nearly 100k worth of new businesses formed in a year, which when we extrapolate that over a 3-year period, means that we could have over 3 million new businesses in Australia as well. So business ownership is still it's growing rapidly, and with the projection of what we're seeing from these stats, that we are seeing more and more people looking at business ownership as a way forward into FY27. So now it's going to look a bit more around from a location perspective. So as you can see, so from a location perspective, we just looked at the 4 main states. No offence to South Australia, Tasmania, and ACT, but just from a size perspective, these are the big 4 that have generate majority, close to 95% of all the inquiry and traffic on our website as well. So you can see WA has really had a massive spike this year, and so it's 46% up year on year at the moment in WA, where the rest of New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland ranges from 20 to 30% up.
Yep.
And then looking at from a little more of a space there. So as I said, WA is exhibited the strongest growth post-pandemic, maintaining an upward trajectory. And what we're seeing in WA is that 46% up year on year, and that's a big driver from cafe, coffee, restaurant, and also to manufacturing and wholesale businesses. So really looking at businesses that, one, supply product, but also there's still that growth from that food and drink sector over in the WA as well. Queensland, where it's the softer of the 4 main states, it has come off quite a high, where back in COVID, everyone wanted to leave down south, come to Queensland, buy a business, and get away as well. That's starting to see that people starting to head back towards Victoria and New South Wales, and that shows with the Victorian stats as well, where Victoria's rebounded and had consistent growth since 2022, aligning with the same trends as New South Wales as well too. Then we look at from a metro regional perspective. So as you can see, it's quite for a while there, especially in that COVID area, the metro regional was very similar. And then we start to see, since we've come out of pandemic, we're seeing that the metro areas are considerably growing more. And that's what, where a lot of people are, not migrating to as well. That's also coupled with changes to visas and migration as well. We're seeing more and more people looking at those metro sites versus those regional areas. And as I said before, so Queensland, we saw a massive increase in demand for businesses in regional Queensland, which was surpassing Brisbane. Now that's starting to flip, where Brisbane has begun to outpace the regional Queensland. Similar in New South Wales as well too, where the regional inquiry growth slowed much earlier in mid-22, while Sydney demand has kept rising. And Victoria, it's mid-20s, mid-2020, late 2021, regional areas outpaced Melbourne, but once that is gone back to a more of a metro drive as well. And then looking at from a state-based perspective, you can see that New South Wales, you can see where, through that 2021 period, but, we can see that it's really starting to continue to drive in that metro space as well. And obviously, with these data, we do find it is quite seasonal. Even from some months, we'll get one location or one industry will be, up, significant amount, and one will drop off, and the next month it'll even itself out as well. But we do find that our most seasonal time is that December, July period, our two biggest sways from an inquiry perspective. And we look at Queensland, as you can see, once again, Queensland, we're starting to see that continual growth in the metro side. And in Victoria, we can see that the regional and metro is becoming quite comparative as well at the moment. So is a question? No. Cool. So looking now at the industries, so these are the top 10 industries based on inquiry volume in 2024. So cafe coffee restaurants, look, everyone still loves to own a cafe or run a restaurant in Australia. We have that affiliation with that food and drink industry. So it's 21% up year on year. What we are seeing that is more and more people are more moving towards the existing business opportunities versus a new business opportunity in that cafe coffee restaurant space at the moment. Manufacturing and wholesale distribution continues to be very strong, and our second largest industry of people looking at inquiring on businesses as well, and it goes down. But our biggest mover year on year is the business services. So business services, so, like anything that helps a business. So you got your finance, you've got copywriting, sign writing, printing, anything to support a business has had significant growth in that space there. Lottery, news agency, post office down. It is a bit of a tough area as well to in that space. So as I said, so business services saw a 38% increase in inquiries year on year, moving from 12th to 8th place, and include your accounting, your business coaching, marketing, and sign writing businesses. Sports and fitness also dropped as well to 12th place with a 7% decline year on year from an inquiry perspective. Now, in that industry, we also couple in the health and medical, which we did see a significant increase in health and medical. So people are looking at more aligned businesses that align to NDIS, and with an aging population, people looking towards those health and medical industries as well too. And other high interest sectors, cleaning, transport and storage, continue to drive a lot of activity through the site as well. Then we look at breaking down to show where we see the actual growth. So cafe coffee restaurant, you can see that is all inquiries, and then the trend from a cafe coffee restaurant follows what we're seeing on site. Takeaway casual dining, a little bit behind where all the inquiries from a trend perspective. Now these, keep in mind, these are across the whole site, but back to your question before, Rhiannon, I can send you through some data around specifically just franchise brands as well too. We can just do a bit of a manipulation, so it kind of gives a different look and a different spiel as well. So, but if there is any other brands on here, or people do want a specific brand, I'm happy to share that data with you and talk about what we're seeing from that space as well too. Other high growth industries, so you can see the cleaning industry has tapered off. It came off a very big high where it started the year, but it has seemed to slow down in that space as well. Even though it's still quite a high area, it has dropped significantly. Where business services continue to grow, I think you can see that's been quite a strong growing space for us at the moment from an activity and engagement insight as well. And then transport, health and medical, as we touched on before as well. And then some of the low growth areas. So as I said, so sports and fitness has come off a bit of a high where everyone's cooped up, locked down, wanting to get out and get into the gym, get fit. So we saw a massive uplift, and then it's dropped off since then, where it is a very competitive market, and we're seeing that more and more people aren't inquiring as much on the sports and fitness industry as they were previously, and accommodation and tourism, where it still is, is a double-digit growth, 12%. It is an area that is still, declining from where it has been, 2 years ago as well in that space. What's one pleasing area that we are seeing some real significant growth is, and this would be, probably great for everyone on site as well too. So people looking at buying businesses that are, over $1 million has significantly grown. So we're seeing that it's up 49% year on year of people inquiring on businesses that are $1 million plus as well. So that talks back to us, before about people have better, understand how they can, their property value, other business opportunities as well too. But they see that that's the real best opportunity for them to be successful in business ownership is looking at businesses over that space. And in the food and drink industries especially, we're seeing that 100 to 500K mark has been up 31% year on year as well. So, when I first started at Seek, long time ago, the average investments was around that 300K mark, where the average now is upwards of the 500K mark. So there's a significant shift in people inquiring businesses, but even back then too, people inquiring on businesses, even just over $1 million was, minuscule. Now it is significantly growing in that space as well too. So it is an opportunity.
Yeah.
Look, the inquiry numbers aren't as large as some of the lower ones, but still that we are seeing more and more people looking and inquiring and speaking about those business opportunities as well too. And I'd love to hear from, here we got a question first. So what percentage of these?
Dennis, sorry, just before you answer that,
Yep.
David Ridgway, I think, got his hand.
Sorry, David, yes.
Hi, Dennis.
Hello,
Thanks
mate.
very much for that. Just in regards to inquiries that are for $1 million over, do you have a breakdown of where those inquiries go to from an industry perspective?
Yeah, I can definitely share that with you. I can. So what I'll do is I'll reach out. I've got your details. I'll reach out to you and send you through some stats around that. So
excellent. Thanks very much for
Yep.
that. That'll be really handy.
Yep. And Narelle has a question.
Yes. What percentage of these acquisitions are franchise businesses? So from an inquiry perspective on our website, so franchise inquiries make up 12% of all inquiries on our website. So we obviously have three main markets. We've got our franchise market, our broker market, and our private sale market from an inquiry perspective. Franchise inquiries, are 19% of our inquiries come from a franchise perspective, being new franchisees or existing or franchise resales as well. But there's a particular industry or investment level, Narelle, you're looking for. I can definitely share some more data around what that share looks like for you as well. So if you want to, send through a chat here or message me afterwards, I'm happy to share that data with you as well. So.
Rihanna has a question.
No, so that 19%, that's 90% share of inquiries. So if you look at our total inquiry numbers across the site for a month, 90% of our inquiries come from a franchise perspective. The other, rest of it comes from brokers and private sellers and licensed distribution.
Sorry, just to be specific. So is that 19%? Is that like that portion? Is that up from last year? So
So franchise inquiries are up 7% year on year.
So last year it was only 12%. This year it's 19% through Seek.
No, so the total number of inquiries is up 7% year on year. The shares normally around that 17 to 19% mark is the share of inquiries that come from a franchise perspective on a monthly basis.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah.
Yep. Good clarification.
Cool. Now that comes to the end of the slides. I do have, obviously questions as well too, and I'm happy to spend, more time going back to some other slides if anyone has any questions around slides. Or, as I was saying, so with the Market Insights report, if you scan your QR code, you can register, and that will then, sign you up. So when our next one comes out in the next couple of weeks, you'll receive that in your inbox. It's more detailed than what we're going through here. It's very much this is more of a top line of what we've got, but I'm happy to catch up or even Bridget, who was on the call today as well, who looks after a lot of you know customers on the call as well. We can arrange time to catch up and go through some more insights and also more relevant data to your own industry as well too. So.
Yep. So, what other questions do we have? Yeah, take yourself off mute if you don't want to type. happy to have a chat.
And happy to go back over the slides, or if there's anything else burning from a different one, I've got some other data I can share with you or rustle up the answers now as well too for you.
Dennis,
And we've got a few industries on.
It's Michael here.
Hey, Michael, how are you, mate?
I'm just keen to understand the readily available credit, because that's certainly not what I've heard in the market. So is that something that's coming from Judo Bank that they're saying? Because that's probably one of the greatest hurdles at the moment that I've heard of. So
look, that has come from Judo Bank because we don't get involved in that side. But what I'll do is I'll reach out to Judo Bank and get some clarification or where that is, and I can shoot it through to you, Michael. So
thank you.
Dennis, have you seen an increase in advertisers as well in these last couple of years post-COVID?
Yes and no. We see new ones come on board, other ones disappear as well too. And look, we are So I think from a franchise perspective, our franchise numbers, our customers, it grows year on year, but it's not a significant growth because it's just people come through, or some successful without it as well too. The brands that do fantastic at do it their own website, their own marketing as well too. We're one channel that people can look to buy a business from as well. But we're not the be all and end all. We know that, but it's about how do we help everyone play a small part in driving people back to their own website to buy a business, or even understand what it takes to buy a business as well. So. David,
have you got any?
Sorry, Kevin.
Sorry. Have you got any data on results that franchisors or people are achieving from the leads they're getting? I know we all my clients are with Seek, but we never get asked about which ones we closed. But I think that would be useful for other people as well.
For us, that's a $1 million question. So we'd love to, especially on the private seller space, we're doing some work around if they expire their ad. We're asking, from an inquiry quality perspective, did they sell through us, to get a small bit of data. But, we get a lot of, ad hoc data when we speak to like yourself or other brands, and they'll say, hey, look, I've sold 2 through Seek this year or whatever it is as well too. But there's no one source of truth, unfortunately, for business ownership as well, which makes it a little bit hard. But we're definitely looking at, from our perspective, how do we improve and close the loop as well. So if we know that the inquiry quality is growing, we're seeing conversions, for us to then paints a better picture, and we can provide different data as well. Happy to provide information and obviously not pass it on, but we can start to build a bit of we know that if we have X amount of ads or this amount of spend in this industry, we're going to potentially see this kind of result down the track as well.
What's up?
David, you got another question?
David?
Yeah, just in regards to the inquiries for accommodation and tourism, you had a slide up earlier. Would you be able to break that down on a state basis? So obviously when those inquiries are coming from around the country.
Yep. No, I can definitely flick you through that accommodation and break it down into a state-based, and then we can look at metro regional as well too. So.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'm just trying to cross-correlate what you were saying before about $1 million inquiries.
Yep.
And that's obviously the industry that the company I work for is involved in accommodation. So that would just help to sort of put those two together. Thanks.
And are you seeing from the accommodation sector, are you seeing that inquiries are slowing or growing, or?
If we look at sort of this time compared to last year, our inquiries are down. But in saying that, we're certainly transacting businesses. So your comment earlier about people looking at businesses over $1 million, which is sort of the category we're in, We're certainly getting really solid inquiries, but what you do find with those type of businesses, they happen over a long period of time.
Yep.
So it's more the inquiries from last year and the year before that are coming to fruition now. It's not an overnight thing; it takes time. So that's probably the trend we're seeing, but it's more preparing for 2025 and 2026 is that what we're looking towards.
Yep. No, cool. That's good. Thank you, Dave. So, but yeah, I'll come back to you with some information, a bit more specific around that accommodation, those areas as well. So
that'd be great. Thanks, Dennis.
Clem, you had your hand up.
Yeah, Dennis, just wanted to share with you. I'm basically curious, please, in the recruitment department.
Yep.
And you're right, we are seeing a lot of people, particularly with the government opening up the visa for people coming in from overseas. They're putting a lot of people into regional Victoria.
Yep.
So I'm getting a lot of regional inquiries coming through that people have got, unlimited work rights, but just can work in the country. They can't work in Metro.
Yep.
So obviously your figures are correct. There is a lot of people looking for work in the country area because obviously the limited amount of resources and businesses in that area, a lot of them tend to come in and looking at buying a franchise and tend to have either experience overseas that they've worked in the transport industry.
Okay.
So they're bringing their skill set over to Australia and they want to obviously look at a franchise model, and look at moving that transport. And the other thing I wanted to share with you too, there is we've noticed a peak in volume this year of people looking for work, and particularly people changing industries.
Okay.
So people that are in hospitality that want to move over into a transport, business oriented owner operator business like ourselves. People that have worked in so hospitality is the main thing. There's also people that work in a logistics environment like a warehousing. Where they're actually doing casual work or part-time. And also there's a lot of people that have been laid off work due to company mergers, acquisitions, or people just left because of no work required coming out of the obviously COVID boom. So there is definitely a bit of a hype at the moment on that. So, and I think just to share with the team too, it also shows Australia Post, I think, put out for casual support for their Christmas peak. I think they put out, it was 3,000 to 4,000 people they needed this year, which is one of the biggest I've seen on their recruitment drive, which shows, that e-commerce parcel market is growing, but also shown that, an Australia Post company is needing a lot more resources than they did prior, and they're expecting a big volume coming in. So just to share that with you.
Yeah, no, cool. No, thanks very much, Clem, for that. So.
Yeah, great input, Glenn.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Any other industries that we've got on today?
Just for me, so Narelle, what industry are you in so I can start to collect some data for yourself?
I'm not really looking to collect data for myself.
Yep.
I work for the CFA, the FCA, sorry.
Okay,
I'm just interested in, I guess, which segments of the franchises picking up. Like you mentioned that some of the ones that are over $1 million, you're getting a lot of inquiry about that, but that's obviously a longer lead process to purchase and acquire. Whereas, some of the smaller, the cheaper, get up and running, that can turn over faster. I was just interested in that type of sort of data. Yeah.
Cool. No, thank you. I can pull some stuff together and get that sent through to you as well. That'd be no dramas at all.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think it'd be great for all the members too. Just to sort of get a guide as to what's going on out there in the industry with regards to each of the core segments of franchise.
Yeah, and I think that the report from Judo Bank and us will be probably a bit more overarching, but definitely we can fill in the gaps with some of our specific data just relating to franchise inquiries as well too for you. So
Yeah.
Cool. Any other questions or comments or anything else? Even anything Seek Business related, or any other questions around the portal, or anything that, what we can offer or assist as well?
Yep. Has everybody scanned to get their next report? Yep, I have two.
Oh, the thumbs up. Excellent.
Thanks, David. Excellent. All right.
All right.
Well, yep.
I was going to say, well, if there's nothing else, you've got my details. Happy, to reach out. I'm happy to catch up. I do get to Melbourne a fair bit as well, so I'm happy to, if you're Melbourne-based, catch up Melbourne, or I've got myself and Bridget. I know Bridget's online. If she wants to show herself and say g'day as well. She's going to hate that, but anyways.
Hello. I don't know how else to do it other than to say hello. So
okay.
All right.
Hi, Bridget.
So, cool. Excellent. Cool. Well, thank you very much, Helen, for your time today and the opportunity as well. But yeah, please, reach out on LinkedIn or drop me a note. I'm happy to help out and provide any more data that's required to make your lives easier as well.
Thanks, Dennis. That was insightful data. Thank you very much for today.
Thanks, Dennis.
So moving on to
Dennis.
next Lunch and Learn, which will be Series 10. We have Training Central hosting the next one on Wednesday, the 18th of September. The trainer, Jan Timms, who's actually on, so I'll get her to say hello, will be talking about essential elements for success in franchising. Jan, are you on? I think I saw you on before.
Yes, I'm here. Yep. So
great.
Fantastic. Now I'm looking forward to facilitating the session, and hopefully lots of people will come along and have a look at it.
Yep. Excellent. So we look forward to seeing you Wednesday, 18th of September, everyone. Appreciate your time. Thank you for coming on, and hope to see you all, if not tomorrow, at the Vic State Conference soon.
Cool. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks very much.
Bye.
Bye.